Hi guys, welcome back, and in this video I will show you a simple expert advisor that I have created based on a zigzag indicator. Because in the last MQL5 tutorial video I've showed you how you can obtain zigzag values, I thought that it might be nice to also show you how to later use these values to create some real expert advisors, and that's why I created this EA right here. Usually when you are working with zigzag, you want to also work with some price patterns. It can be, for example, head and shoulders, flags, and stuff like this. Yeah, it can be really anything. And in this case, I've decided to base this expert advisor on something called 1, 2, 3 pattern. This pattern is very simple, as I will show you on my MT5, and yet it's still pretty effective in my opinion. So that's why I chose this pattern for this expert advisor. So before I go through all of this code and I tell you what I did, how I did it, and why I did it, I will explain what this 1, 2, 3 pattern actually is. So I'll just open any chart I want. Sorry, I misclicked here. I will go to lower time frame, but it doesn't really matter. And then what I have to do is that I have to apply the zigzag indicator, because I will be using a zigzag to spot this pattern. So I want to show you what will be our pattern. And the pattern is really simple. It consists of three zigzag values. So for example, here this is perfect example. So I will create an object here just for you, so you know what's what. So this is our third zigzag. Okay, I changed the name but moved the property. Description. So this is our, where was it, first zigzag. This is our second zigzag. So like when you are working with zigzags, zigzag values are peaks and bottoms. It's not like that line. That line is formed by connecting the zigzag values. And this is my first zigzag. Okay, I should disable this. And yeah, so here we have our cherry zigzag value. And basically what the pattern is that we form this first leg. After that we wait for a little pullback. That's the second leg, and after the pullback is done, and also the pullback does complete between 40% to 60% of the first leg's range, then we place a buy stop at the top of the second zigzag and wait for a price to reach that level, after which we open a buy position. So it's pretty simple. We spot this, and at this point we place buy stop right here and then just wait. And the same goes for a sell position. So I'll just find an example for a sell position somewhere. Okay, so let's scroll a little bit back, just a minute so I can find. Okay, so no, this is not okay. This might be a pretty nice example. So at this point this is the same. So at this zigzag value, this is our third value, second value, then our first value forms right here. We are creating a sell stop at this point, and then when price goes below this sell stop level, then we open a sell position. So that's 1, 2, 3 pattern. Okay, so I will go back to my MQL5 and I will show you what I did. Yeah, so the first thing I have to do is to import this trade library, so I can use positions and orders in MQL5. So that's what I did right here. After including the library in the code, I created an instance of this class called trade. After that, because zigzag is classified as a custom indicator, you have to firstly call it as a resource. So you just type this and then you have to insert the path to the zigzag indicator. So in this case, or in my case, it's under indicators and examples folder, but in your case it might be a little bit different. So you have to be aware of this fact that this path is not same for everybody. After that, I'll just create a zigzag handle which is used for obtaining zigzag values right here. So moving on, then as you can spot here, I created 3 input variables called depth, deviation and backstep, and these are just some parameters that go into the zigzag indicator. So later on, as you can see right here, where I'm calling the iCustom function, then I am passing them as parameters to the zigzag. And if you go back here and check the indicator, you can see that you get the same thing with a normal zigzag indicator. So that's why I have this here. And moving on to the orders settings, I might leave them for now, and then I will come back to them when we are opening some positions. So like you don't forget what any of this means till then. Okay, so let's continue. Then you can see some variables right here. So the first is called collect values. So if you've seen the tutorial, my previous tutorial on zigzag, you know that collect values is used when receiving the zigzag values, and it like tells the program how many zigzag values we want. And since this is 1, 2, 3 pattern, and as I've showed you, we need 1, 2, and the third is here, so we need 3 values for being able to spot the pattern. I'm asking the program for the last 3 zigzag values. So this is for what this variable is for. After that, I have created some zigzag values array in which I will be storing the zigzag values, and zigzag values times for storing the times of those zigzags. So when did that zigzag happen? But I think that I don't use zigzag times in this particular EA, but nonetheless I can still have it here. Okay, so to some more interesting stuff. When you are working with zigzag, it works exactly the same as any other indicator, and that means that you have to call on init function the iCustom function. iCustom function is used for custom indicators, so like this is the same as if I were, for example, calling RSI indicator or any other indicator. And you can know this by noticing that the color of the functions are the same. Okay, so in MQL5, like if the functions have the same, like let's call it nature, then they will have also the same color. Okay, so I'm calling this iCustom function. Then for our symbol, our current period, which is self-explanatory, and then there's one more tricky stuff here, and that is we have to pass the path to the indicator. It's exactly the same path as right here, but the only difference is that here I don't use a double slash like here, but I use this instead. So be aware of this little difference. And after that I have to use those parameters as well. Yeah. So this is for getting the zigzag values. After that, you can see that I am just resizing these two arrays, and I am resizing them to the collect values variable. So nothing fancy right here. And event set timer, I think I can delete this since I don't use timer in this MQL5 software. Okay, on deinit I will leave it, but also I don't use it, and that's not important. The important stuff is right here in this function. I will start by describing this collecting zigzag values right here. So once again, if you've seen my zigzag tutorial, then you have seen also this function, because this is the function that allows us to obtain the correct number of zigzag values and store them in our arrays. So I won't go through the exact functionality of this function or how the function works. The only important thing is that you have to remember that thanks to this function we get the latest zigzag values. So that's that. And if we go back here on our own tick function, you can see that I am calling this function on every new bar. I am doing so because in testing this saves so much time, because if I want to call this collecting zigzag value on every new tick, then in testing it's so slow, and that's why I put this into a condition that says that I want to collect these zigzag values only on every new bar. So that's just that. If we move on, you can see that I am having something like spotting patterns. Yeah, spotting patterns function, which is right here, and then I'm storing whatever this function returns into this signal variable. So the best thing to do is to check this function and see how it works. The function is right here, and as you can see, it's an integer function. It's integer function because I can assign like meaning to the integers it will return. So you can see that if it returns 0, then it means that there's no signal. If it returns 1, then it means that we should buy, and if it returns 2, then it means that we should sell. So yeah, that's why I chose integer function. Then I'm just creating some local variables. This is just for easier reading of the code. So I am assigning first value to the zigzag values at position 0. So at this case, this is my first value. Then I am assigning second value to the zigzag value at position 1. So this is my second value, and the third value is right here. So this is just for cleaner conditions, which I use right here. And then I am creating two more variables. The first one is called first distance, and you can see that I am measuring the distance between, or the distance of the first leg. So that's second value minus third value. So this is second minus the third, which gives me like this range, okay? And then I have my current distance, so this is of the current leg, and its second value minus the first value, so second minus the first, and that gives me the length of this leg. So that's what I also need in my expert advisor. So moving on, you can see that here is my code for spotting by patterns. So it has two conditions. The first one is to check the order of the zigzag values. So I want to make sure that the first value is higher than the third value, and the second value is the highest one of them all. So that's what this does. And then I want to check the distance, and what I do here is that I check that this value is between 40% and 60% of this leg's range. And then I do the same thing for the cell pattern. The only difference is that I have to assign new values for the first distance, because now we are not doing 2 minus 1, for example, but we are doing like we have to change it around, because now the second value is not the highest one, but the lowest one. So I just had to change these variables, but then it works exactly the same. So the first condition is to check whether the second value is the lowest one, and the third value is the highest one, and then check the range. And if all of these conditions are met, then I return number 2, which corresponds to cell signal, and in this case I return number 1, which corresponds to buy signal. And if neither of these if statements are true, I return 0. So this is my spotting patterns function. So I can go back and I can okay, it seems like okay, this is weird, but yeah, let's move on, and I will tell you what I noticed right now. It seems like I deleted the cell stop function, which should be right here, but it doesn't matter. I can create a new one. So now we finish our expert advisors by these two functions, which is just basically if the signal that we have received is equal to 1, so we should buy, and also we haven't opened a buy position at that current pattern, then I want to open a buy stop, and this is the same but for a cell stop, and I've deleted the cell stop. So just 1 second, I will create a cell stop right now. So this is okay, this is okay, -1 minus 2 minus 1 and yeah. Okay, so this should be working okay. Now I would like to go over this buy stop and sell stop functions, because I haven't really used such positions in any other of my EAs, so I think it's a good practice to go over them. So here you can see what is what. So the first parameter it takes is the volume, which is self-explanatory. It just wants to know how many lots you want to use for this position. The second one is price. Now you have to remember that for a buy stop you have to enter higher price that you currently are at, and for sell stop you have to enter lower price. So you can see that I am entering zigzag values at position 1, and I will show you what that means. So at this point I am opening a buy stop, and this is zigzag at positions 1. So at this point I am here and I am opening a buy stop for this level. Okay, so that's above, and the same goes for a sell stop, but sell stop is like below. So that's that. Moving on, it wants a symbol, so I just pass the current symbol, and then it wants stop loss. So in this particular EA I want to incorporate length of those two legs into take profit and stop loss. So what I do is that I calculate the distance of the third leg, okay, and then I multiply it by this stop loss coefficient, which can, for example, say if stop loss coefficient is equal to 2, then I want to use double the range of this leg. And then as you can see, for buy stop I say zigzag values at position 1, so we are here, and I am extracting the first leg times the stop loss coefficient. Okay, so that's what I do. For sell stop is the same thing, but I just change the signs here, because the stop loss is above an opening price in sell stop. And the same goes for take profit. So in buy stop I am doing exactly the same thing to the zigzag values at position 1. So at to this point I am adding a certain ratio of this leg, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing here, and also what I'm doing here at sell stop. The only difference is that I am extracting for sell stop and increasing for buy stop. And then very important part of the sell stop and buy stop orders is the expire time. So for these orders you have to specify after how long should they expire and be deleted. Because yeah, for example, let's say that I am at this point and I want to open a sell stop here. Okay, so this is my first, second, third, second, first. So this is our pattern, and then I am placing a sell stop right here, but the price never even reaches this point and it goes up, and therefore I have to specify after how long I want this sell stop to be deleted, and that's what I do here. I am using this hours expire parameter that I have here in my inputs that says after how many hours I want to delete that specific order. Yeah, and that's it. That's all you need to know about this code, because that's everything there's to it. So now I will show you how it works. So for this I need my tester. Single. For now I will test it on 1 minute, but if you want to have like serious results, then please test it on every tick based on real ticks, okay? But since I just want to show you how this works, this is okay for me. So yeah. Okay, so here is our cell stop, and let's see. Let's like analyze the pattern to see whether it's working as it should be working or not. So at this point, so this is our entry level. So what we can see is that this is our third value, second value, and then this was our first value. Okay, and so we opened a cell stop which now expired and it got deleted. But as like, yeah, it seems like a good pattern, and the same thing goes here. Okay, so this works pretty nicely. Yeah, the same thing goes here. So I am opening a buy stop. So yeah, as you can see, third level, third value, second value, and it goes back here. This is my buy stop level, so I'm waiting for price to reach this level, and it got deleted like a few minutes before it would be triggered. So that's a shame, but yeah, nonetheless the same thing here. Okay, so the third, second, first, this is our buy position, and then we close in a profit. So this was a perfect setup. And let's wait for one more. So the same thing, third, second, first. At this point we are opening this sell stop. Price goes below the sell stop, therefore we are opening a sell position, and let's see what happens. We are closing in a profit. Yeah, okay, so we can show that we can see that this works pretty nicely. So let's wait for one more pattern. Okay, and then I will end this video, because this is exactly what I just wanted to show you. So okay, once again, third, second, first, opening buy stop at the second, waiting for price to breach the level. It does, opening buy position, going up. So that's something I like to see. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you. Obviously, with zigzag indicator, you can create expert advisors for all of the price patterns you can think of. I have used zigzag for something like head and shoulders, the butterflies, bad patterns, cardless as well. So anything that you can think of, any price pattern you can think of, you can use zigzag to trade that price pattern. Okay, so this is all. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.